All right, time again for another edition of Atomic Diecast, and today we're going to do a quasi fantasy car. And I say quasi because this model is not a pure fantasy car, but at the same time, it's not a real vehicle. This is the 2026 Pass and Go model by Hot Wheels. And this is in celebration of the game Monopoly's 90th anniversary. The game was born in 1935, and in 2025, Hot Wheels decided to release this. That said, it is actually a 2026 release. So if you've ever played Monopoly, and I did quite a bit when I was a kid, each player gets a game piece that they have to move around the board. And one of the game pieces is a little vintage race car, like the one you see here. And I always wanted to get that as a kid whenever I'd play the game, because the other game pieces that each player would get assigned weren't quite as cool, for lack of a better word. There was a top hat, there was a thimble, they had an iron, like an iron that you'd use to iron clothes. I don't know where they got some of those, but the little speedster car was the one I always wanted. I'm sure most kids that were into Hot Wheels did the same whenever they played the game. So Hot Wheels brought this out. I had a hard time finding this. It's been out for a few months now, and I looked and looked and looked, and it appeared, at least the places that I shopped, that these were gobbled up pretty quick. But I did eventually find one, and I'm sure as the year goes on, they'll be more readily available. It is a really accurate depiction of what the little car looked like in the game. They did Zamac on Zamac, so this does have a metal base to it, which is nice. It's got a plastic interior, as would be expected with a Hot Wheels mainline, or any Hot Wheels release for that matter. They used pewter colored aero disc wheels, which I think look pretty nice. I might have done something a little different, more reminiscent of a 20s or 30s speedster roundabout, but even so, I think these look pretty good on the car. And there was a description that came with it. I'll read that, and then I'll talk a little bit more about the detailing, of which there isn't a lot. It's a very small car. So here it goes. Collect $200 because it's time to celebrate 90 years of Pass and Go. Make sure you pick up and get out of jail free card as you burn rubber and speed past every street, railroad, and utility across the board. If you've ever played Monopoly, you'll know exactly what that means. If you haven't, it basically is in reference to how you transverse different parts of the board and collect money or go to jail, or there's rewards and penalties as you play the game. There's not really a lot to talk about with respect to this casting, other than the Zamac's pretty good. It's not porous. I don't think they polished it, but it's pretty smooth. They probably had to do that because with a Zamac car, they can't cover any imperfections with paint. There's the plastic interior that I mentioned. They did do an Easter egg on this car. If you look really, really closely on the front seat, there is the top hat, which is reminiscent of the little Monopoly guy who is always on the front of the game box. He had a top hat, and I think he had it either in his hand or he was wearing it, but Monopoly and top hats go hand in hand. There's minimal tampoing. There's the 90th anniversary logo with the little guy with the top hat in the zero, and then they did a black stripe down the side. And that's about it. There's really not a lot left to talk about. I like it. I'm gonna hopefully find another one and keep it in the blister. But when I saw this, I immediately had to open it, and yeah. I weighed it too. It was 24 grams. Very light. I thought it would actually be heavier because of the metal on metal, but it's a very small casting, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised there. And we'll see how that translates to the roll test. Okay, time to test this thing. Wheels are broken in. Again, it's a pretty light car, 24 grams, but sometimes those do better than the heavy ones. You just never know. We'll find out. Okay, goes to 3. It pulls to the left. There's a fair amount of wheel shake. Okay, does 3 again. It's kind of slow. It's not fast. Not only does it not get past 3, Takes a bit to get there. That might be the weight or lack thereof. Okay, little past 3. Pretty good, average. I really like this cast, and I think if you get a chance to buy it, I recommend you do so. It's pretty iconic. If you ever play Monopoly and you collect Hot Wheels, you almost have to get this. So thanks for watching, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe. We'll do this again soon.